depths of despair. Sounds like the owner's been saying to join their bloody club, I tell you. But yeah, no, they've not been too bad actually. I think I've been quite impressed with how they've carried themselves, and they were really unlucky on Sunday against Everton. So we can't underestimate them at all. Yeah, but I don't think they've been too bad. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I think they're a really good club. They're striving for hunger, even though they've never been in the Premier League before, you know. But but yeah, I don't think we should underestimate them either. I think they're a very, very strong side.
He seems to be all right. He's. I don't think he's pulled up any major trees. He's always tended to do a job that he's kind of put there and done it, and not asked too many questions. He's not achieved a great amount, but he's done what he's been asked to do. Which kind of like a lot of managers nowadays. He seems kind of half a little bit like a nice guy, but also can be quite heavy-handed when he needs to be. Likes to play good football. He's a down-to-earth guy. And I think that he's got that kind of sentimentality that when he comes to West Ham, he want to be respectful as anything, but he'll still want to go out and try and bait us, which is probably what, obviously every team going to try and do to us. But yeah, he comes across as a quite kind of a nice guy, tactical noose and all that. So yeah, he'd be the worst bloke who's ever been to the stadium. So yeah, welcome back, Chris.
But I think he's a very, very good manager. I mean, when he was at Newcastle, he actually did a lot from, even in the short space of time that he was managing for them. But yeah, I think he's done a lot. I think he's a very, very good, strong manager.
I always fear any team that plays West Ham, because I always feel like we could be playing a bunch of part timers and we'll still lose. That's just the mentality I've got with West Ham. I do like not heart for Brighton. I actually think I quite like West Ham to look into him in January, but that's maybe not aiming high. That's me maybe not aiming high enough for players to go and get. But I looked at him on Sunday and he seems like a real live wire. And I think West Ham struggle against players like that. Sort of nippy players, quite skillful, got a finish on him. And he scored the goal, of course, on Sunday for Brighton. But as a whole, I think they still look to me a little bit like a team that's going to try and do nothing but stay up. Of course, any team does when they come up to the Premier League first time round. But the one thing I noticed is on Sunday, when they gave away their penalty on Sunday, was due to the fact that their defender got pulled about and mugged off in the box and saw red mist. A bit like Andy Carroll against Burnley. And he ended up giving it back, gave away the penalty, and there you go, 1-1 with Rooney. So maybe that's something that West Ham got to look at as well. If if they get a bit pushed around, a bit heavy-handed, they can't take it, and they'll let themselves down in that respect. But yeah, I mean, look, Brighton are a team that can be going for it. They're going to come into our place without fear. They'll probably play for a draw, in my opinion. I don't think they'll go for a win. But you never know. I'm not scared of them, but I am wary of them. I do believe they might have something in their locker.
Number one will be not to counter-attack. The amount of defence that football we've played this season is just, it'll just be all that attack, high pressure, all that attack, just hold to at the midline, push forward, obviously, wingers attack as well. No 3 centre-backs, 2 centre-backs, obviously, another 8 pushing up past the halfway line and just keep high pressure. That's how you're going to beat us, because, not being funny, but the amount of defence we've got at this moment in time is just unbelievable. We're always sticking 3 at the back. If not, it's going to be 5. So, we play very, very, very deep football, and the only way to do that is catch us out. And Bolton could have even done that in the cup game. I mean, there was a couple of times when we lost the ball due to sloppy passes, but then we certainly picked it up, and it's been ongoing since the beginning of the season. But yeah, that's how they can beat us. However, we can sort of counter-attack that by playing possessive and counter-attacking football.
Glenn Murray is one of them players that we always seem to, we'll deal with for, say, an hour, 60 minutes. And then because he hasn't had anything to look in, we'll forget about him, and then suddenly he'll pop up in the box and score a goal against us. So, yeah, it depends how you go. I mean, we've got 2, for me. Reeds loves the challenge. He's never wanted to shirk out of the challenge with a heavy defender. Fonte, maybe we did him more different. I know he's in good form this year, but I'm not too sure how he goes up against heavy-handed forwards. But Glenn Murray, he's one of, if you concentrate on certain player too much, you let someone else do whatever they want to do to you. So if we're gonna, Glenn Murray's the kind of player though that is, to me, in the same fashion as Hernandez, where if he gets service and the ball goes into the box, he'll finish it all day long. So as long as we cut out the service, and which we didn't do against Burnley right at the end, Creswell letting the cross come into the box, we should be fine. But if we do what I know we're susceptible to doing, which is letting service get into the box and wherever, then we're asking for our own downfall.
Boring as it is, considering that they drew to one of the most off-form teams in the league, which is Everton. In all honesty, they are, considering they're always top 8 and lately they've been really, really down. I honestly think that we should let them come to us and play the counter-attack, because I know for a fact that they will probably give it their all. And in that case, over the top through balls for Antonio or to Arnautovic, down the wing, obviously someone chasing it into the centre, bam. As long as we can connect with that, it'll be 1, 2, 3 all day long. We'll get that 6-0. But that's if they push forward enough. 5 at the back seems acceptable, but only if you're going to be playing counter-attacking football. If we're going to be playing attacking football, we need the 3 up front. I've already said this plenty of times. Our youth needs to be given a chance. If you want to progress and enhance forward while saving money, invest in business opportunities and make the fans happy, the best way to push forward is to have someone like Martinez be put into the side. The only reason is because he's such an outstanding player. What I've seen him do for the under 23s is amazing. And if he can put that into the actual Premiership adult side, when I say adults, I mean over 23s, if he could do that into the first team side, and I tell you what, he will be an outstanding player. Because let's look at the real facts here. I mean, the under 23s is totally different to the adult side. We've seen a lot of people like Freddie Sears. He scored loads of goals in the 23s, I think it was, or the under 21s. He come into the main side and he didn't really produce as well as we thought he would. But with someone like Martinez, I think because he's not English, it helps his flair, and it helps the way he pushes forward. Because let's face it, England's youth system is not great. However, the Spanish is Spanish, isn't he? I mean, yeah. The Spanish youth system is so much better. They've got so many good keepers, so many good players on the ball, so many players lined up waiting to push forward, and Martinez will be one of them as long as he's using the right way. Our training system needs to be pushed forward in order for him to enhance, though. But yeah, I'll definitely give him a chance.
There's always that chance, but let's face it. I mean, if you're going to worry about things like that, no youth will ever get a chance ever. They'd have to score 10 goals in a bloody game to get a chance. But I've been saying for a long while that there will become a point when he gets his chance, and this is a perfect opportunity. I would get him straight on the bench on Friday night. And the funny thing was, there's a part of me that thinks that maybe he's seen the fact that Carroll is not going to play. He's seen the suspension. He's like, hold on, I need to be banging on the door even more now and saying, listen, I'm here. Don't bother putting a makeshift forward on there. Don't put a makeshift midfielder on there just to make up numbers. I'm going to be a forward. Pick me. I'm going to score a hat-trick here. I'm going to do the business. Put me in. It's just extra incentive to say, look, I'm still here. I'm still scoring goals. It's Man United as well, youth team. It's not any other youth team. It's Man United's youth team. Yeah. Which is always got good clout with it. And I think he's just one of them players which is just, you could say for the next 10 years, so-and-so ain't going to make it because he's this young man. Oxford coming against Arsenal when no one thought he'd come in and do anything. And he bossed it, and he bossed a World Cup winner and a World Cup player in Ozil. So there's no reason why Martinez can't do it. You get rid of that fear factor, just give it some bottle and just put him in. Simple as that.
Sorry, can I add to that, please?
Yeah.
It sort of makes me angry and upset in a way, and really, really anxious, because the way they're going about our youth system is like they're not creating our youth system in such a way to create and keep in order to play into the first team. It's like they're trying to create and sell. It's like
that's a modern game.
Yeah, but that's the problem. I mean,
yeah, it is.
These owners don't realise that we can make a great team, and instead of making, say, £10.50, we can make 1,500 for moving from 16th, for instance, up into top 4 because the amount of youth players we've put forward and progressed. They don't look at the long run. Look at now. I mean, they it's like they want to enhance our youth players to sell them. I mean, Haskabanovic, we bought him for, how much was it? It was something like
It's
8
couple of million.
something like that, right? Maybe even less than that. I can't even remember. But the thing is that they're using him in youth games. He's playing really well. He played really well against the Cup. Where has he been since then? Samuelson's another one. Reece Burke's gone on loan every other year. Yeah, fair enough. If they're going to use him into the first team, great. Reece Oxford's just disappeared. We've got all these great players, even Martinez, and it seems like they're raising them up to sell them for a couple of million more of what they bought them for in order to get their money. And that's not right. It's not right. They should be given their first team chance.
It hasn't really clicked as of yet, which is the good thing about this game is I don't genuinely see Brighton attacking much, and I think it'll kind of be a back to the wall job, especially in the first half for them. So that means we get a lot of attacking play out of it. I can't see him changing the team much from Saturday. I personally would actually like to see Masuaku start over and Arnautovic or Antonio, because I don't think Antonio's 100% fit still. But if Antonio does come in on Friday, then hopefully he's fit enough to play his game that he normally does, which is, obviously for me, very, very underrated work he does. But genuinely, I don't think it'll change much. I think it'll be Sacco in for Carroll. And then carry on from there. I just really hope that we actually play to our strengths. We don't have to knock it up long now because there's no Carroll involved, and Sacco for me is far better on the floor than any of our strikers. And I think hopefully if we do play for the same team, we have a different emphasis where we actually start putting balls in the box for Hernandez to score rather than asking him to do about 2,000 different jobs until he gets into the box. So hopefully, I don't think it'll change much. And I think Sacco will just come into Carroll, but it'll be more or less like for like for me personally.
I'll tell you what I'd like to see. I'd like to see a 4-3-3 and like defensive midfielder, 2 centre midfielders pushing forward. Obviously, a Lanzini, an Obiang, and Kouyaté in centre defensive mid. On the left, obviously, Arnautovic, and on the right, Antonio. The reason why I want to see that is because there's a lot more attacking football. I find it a lot more entertaining than what we've been playing lately, which is way too defensive. But, I'd like to push forward and make it a great game. Instead of keeping possession in our own half and just playing defensive, why not keep possession in their half? I mean, that's what I'd like to see anyway. 6-0, no, I'm joking. It's as long as we play the right football, we will demolish them. But I honestly can't see it happening. I reckon it's going to be a narrow 2-1 win. And I think Hernandez is going to come out and just slot 2 past the keeper. Personally, I think he's just going to come out of his shell. And if it won't be Hernandez, it'll be Sacco. Do one of them. 2-1, yeah, 2-1.
I've kind of got this dream that there's going to be 4-0. It's going to be Hernandez and Sacco actually tearing the defence apart, scoring a goal each. Masuaku bending one in about 75 minutes, and then Martinez finishing off in the last minute, which would be an absolute dream. But if I'm honest, I'm probably going to go for something like a 3-1